What is up, everyone? Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today we're going to take a look at this year's Fallen banner. And the Fallen banners are hype for, obvious reasons. It's a really cool remix and, evil twist on the normal characters, and, a lot of them are canon, and they are very powerful, of course. Pretty much every Fallen banner has brought some kind of meta-relevant unit. I mean, if you think of Fallen Edelgard, she's like the biggest example when she was in her prime. And this year, we're starting with female Alear. And thankfully, it's not just her. We're actually having both Alears on the banner, which is really cool. So we don't have to wait another year for another Alear, rhyming accidentally. So this Alear, the first one, the female one, is going to be a green dragon infantry. Sorry, not infantry. Green dragon armor. And she has Fell Child's arts as her weapon, and it works pretty much similarly to how Alear works before. You have the Brave effect, -1 cooldown, adaptive damage, of course, and then you get stronger based on the distinct game titles among yourself. So the more variety you have, the more stats you get, up to maximum 15. And then you inflict penalty on foes' stats except for their speed if you're alive, and then the distinct game titles, like I said. And if you trigger Savior, then the value is automatically 15. Then you have the DR Pierce by 50 or the DR Halving. Then you have the flat damage output and flat damage reduction. X equals 20% of your res. So you do a plus X damage, and then you reduce damage from the foe's attack by X. So again, X is equal to 20% of your res. And then you also reduce it by more by the foe's specials by X during combat. So tons of flat damage reduction, good damage output. And, it's a pretty simple weapon, but it's going to be strong, especially because you have the Brave hits. Then we go to her special, which is the real long part of her kit. Fell Blast. So this is Iceberg, but way better, obviously, boosting damage by 50% of your res when your special triggers. And then at the start of player phase or enemy phase, if you're alive, you grant Fell Spirit to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. So let's look at Fell Spirit. This debuffs the foe by -4 on everything, and then neutralizes effects that prevent units counterattack. So you negate flash status, which is very useful. And then any reduced damage by X percentage effect that can be triggered only once per combat can now be triggered up to twice per combat, so that's useful. And then excludes boosted special effects from engaging, only highest value applied, does not stack. And also when unit and foe is engaged, you inflict an additional -2 on the foe during combat for 1 turn. So you basically have up to -6 stat swing, which is good, but I think the best part is the ability to trigger your special twice when normally it would only be once for those kind of things. So Fell Spirit's nice. And then if foe initiates combat, or if unit or foe special is ready, or if unit or foe special triggered before or during this combat, you reduce damage from the foe's next attack by 40%. That is, of course, unpierceable. And then on the cherry on top, you have Disencounter built in, just like Dual Marth. So now they're starting to put Disencounter in specials, which is pretty crazy. So Alear has all of that in her special. Then she comes with the Alluvial Boost, which I think the young Corins brought the other boost one. This one gives attack defense res +9, HP +5, and then if you're above or equal to 50% HP at the start of combat, or if the foe initiates, you get those stats, and also 7 HP healing, which is pretty good. So I would say these are better than the other, the other boost skills that gave you guard for the most part, because guard is not as good anymore. Scowling Fighter is a combination of course, a scout skill and special fighter. This has a -4 attack and res debuff on the foe, true damage 20% of your res. You also have flat DR based on your res, 20% of that. And fighter skills in the past have had flat DR already, so this is nothing new. And then you also have special charge +1, and then of course the standard res check for the scowl, which is really nice. So pretty much for any kind of dragon that with high res like Alear here, this is going to be a nice option for sure. And then Higher Ground giving you the Savior effect for ranged foes, right? Yeah, so it's ranged. And then you can also have the Anti-Warp. So pretty good kit for Alear. She's pretty much decked out, ready to go. I'm going to see her a lot in the meta, probably. She's going to be a really bulky armor that has a unique effect of Fell Spirit. Has tons of res, has a new fighter skill, so she's gonna be really good. Here she is, tanking Ninja Lucina like it's nothing. So yeah, that is female Fallen Alear. Definitely cool. I hope that in some of their arts they have that creepy smile that Alear does in Engage. If you play that game, she has that creepy smile, or they have that creepy smile. Up next is her male counterpart, Fell Dragon Child Fallen Male Alear, and this time he's a sword infantry, so a bit more competition for him compared to his female counterpart. So that is a bit unfortunate, I guess, but I mean, he's going to be good. Of course, he's a modern sword infantry. So Fatal Child's Blade is his weapon, -1 cooldown. For foes within 3 rows, 3 columns centered on unit, inflicts -5 debuff on all their stats and negates their bonuses. And then if foe initiates combat or if he's alive at the start of combat, inflicts penalty on foe's stats equal to the number of distinct game titles among allies within 3 spaces of unit. So same condition as, of course, female Alear, up to a maximum of 10. So this is kind of dumb because it should be 15 just like female Alear, but I guess they figured armors need more stats. I don't know what's up with that. They're the same character. They should have the same stats, but I guess he's going to have less. He has the DR piercing as well, the DR halving, and then he has the +X flat damage output and the X flat damage reduction. And then this is based on 20% of his speed instead of res on female Alear, and then he has 7 HP healing after combat. So again, a simple weapon, but we'll get to his PRF skill. Gust is his special, which is a no-brainer for a sword infantry like him who's going to be fast. And I'm actually thinking about, is female Alear going to be kind of slow? Because I don't think we saw her stats. Because pretty much every Alear version has been speedy. I mean, I would be kind of surprised if they min-maxed her. I guess for an armor it's more likely, but considering her weapon's based more on res and his is on speed, maybe that will be the first slow Alear. I don't know, we'll see. But Bond Breaker is his A slot, his PRF A. Has DC built in. At the start of player phase or enemy phase, if he's alive, grants Fell Spirit to unit and allies within 2 spaces for unit or of unit for 1 turn. Inflicts -5, or I can't read today, guys. -7 attack speed debuff and Schism on closest foes and foes within 2 spaces of those foes. So Schism is the effect that has the ability to stop, I think, triangle attack and stuff like that. Dual Strike, if I remember correctly. It's not a very common status effect, even though it's been in the game for a while now. So I think I'm remembering that correctly. I don't know. They don't have it explained here, but Schism is a unique, countermeasure to those things. If foe initiates combat or if he's alive at the start of combat, grants +9 to all of his stats and reduces damage from the foe's first attack by 7. So he has the flat DR there, including the brave hits. And then if unit's HP is greater than 1 and foe, so he has Miracle. So that's good. So that's one advantage he has compared to female Alear, who obviously has the brave weapon. But he has the Miracle just like legendary male Alear, and then of course the winter version that has the Miracle, which is very useful, of course. I mean, Fatal Smoke is a counter, but Fatal Smoke is not always going to be there, so Miracle is a nice failsafe. B slot, he comes with Speed Defense Spiked Wall. This is great for the Bulwark effect to protect your teammates and not let people pass through you and, just snipe your backline or whatever. So this is good for that, along with some flat damage reduction, true damage, and the null guard effect. And then he comes with Odd Speed Wave in his C slot for the null follow-up and more speed. So it's nice to be able to have some more of these skills in the regular pool, because fallen units are not seasonal units. So that's another great thing about these banners. So yeah, fallen male Alear is going to be a little bit underrated, I feel, just because he's a sword infantry and that's such a competitive class type. But here he is tanking an Athos special, which is definitely no easy feat for the most part, especially for infantry units, because Athos hits like a truck. And he lives with 1 HP, and I don't think that was even his Miracle. He just lived with that 1 HP, and then he can retaliate and hit them with a powerful Gust. And his sword just looks sick. I love the design on that. So that is fallen male Alear. Next up is my girl Lena, bereft angel, Julian's girlfriend. And someone called Julian to get his girl because she's barefoot now on this fallen version. She's a staff infantry, and she's pretty much a fallen Maria 2, a better version of her. And I am kind of surprised, but also not surprised to see her on the banner because, Arcanea it was pretty much Arcanea April, ancient Arcanea April last month. So I wasn't really expecting more Arcanea, but Arcanea has a lot of candidates, of course, with the maidens being possessed and brainwashed. Nina, Elise, Maria, and Lena. So now we have Nina and Elise remaining, so maybe we'll see one of them next year. So yeah, with that being said, I personally, even though I'm an Arcanea fan and everything, I would have chosen someone else. There's still a lot more fallen material, and we just had a ton of Arcanea characters, obviously, in April. So I'm not complaining or anything, but I would have chosen something different just to mix things up. But Lena's cool, of course. Martyr's Staff is her weapon. This gives you the Wrathful Staff. -1 cooldown. At the start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack res +6, bonus doubler, and penalty neutralization during combat to unit and allies within 3 spaces of unit for 1 turn. So this is nice support. If unit initiates combat is within 3 spaces of an ally, inflicts penalty on foes' attack and resistance equal to 20% of your res at the start of combat. +6, unit deals damage, +X times 5 damage, so she has flat damage output, which is really strong for a healer especially. X equals the total number of bonus effects active on unit and the number of penalty effects active on the flow. I can't do it today, guys. Active on, why did I say flow? On the foe excluding stat bonuses and stat penalties, maximum of 5, excluding AoEs. If the calculates damage from staff like other weapons effect is neutralized, damage from staff calculated after combat damage is added, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack during combat. Grants attack res plus 5 to allies within 3 spaces of unit during combat, and then also grants the miracle effect to her allies as well, right? Yep, so allies within 3 spaces of unit. So yeah, pretty much just a better version of Fallen Maria's weapon. Magic Shield, really good assist for healers. I'd say Ice Lock is the best one overall, but Magic Shield is also good. And it also gives another action to Lena, so that's also amazing. Holy Pressure is her special. We've seen that before. Attack Res Tidings, which is going to give you the dazzling staff effect, and then also attack and res equal to the number of allies within 3 spaces of unit times 2 maximum 12, so times 2 maximum or plus 8. And then she comes with Resonance 4. So Resonance 4 is finally in the regular pool. I don't think this was in the regular pool before, because it was only like Emblem Celica who had it and like a few other seasonals. So that's nice to see. So she's going to be a really offensive healer in nature, so she can hit really hard, deceptively hard, and also have the miracle support for your teammates, and then pulse up ploy for even more support to inflict ploy and exposure, and also give yourself another -1 cooldown. So Lena, Fallen Lena here is going to be pretty good. Again, she's pretty much just like a Fallen Maria but better. Going to work similarly, but she also has, you know, the same access to all the infantry skills, supportive stuff. Magic Shield is nice. You can even run Ice Lock and whatnot, so she can be really annoying for Aether Raids especially. And she's min-max, of course, with high attack, low speed, low defense, and then high res. So pretty much what you expect from a staff unit like Lena, but it's cool to see her, more Arcanea content. You know, I'm never going to hate that, but I personally would have chosen someone else just to mix things up, because again, we had a ton of Arcanea in April. And the last hero on the banner is Rearmed Dedue, bringing a new arcane beast weapon, Dauntless Beast. The art is amazing, definitely really sick. And he is a blue beast armor, and beast armors in general are very rare. There isn't many in the game. I mean, beast units in general are not that common compared to dragons, for example. But Arcane Crest is his weapon, -1 cooldown if foe initiates combat, or if you're alive at the start of combat. Grants a bonus to all your stats equal to 25% of foe's attack at the start of combat, -4, maximum 14, minimum 5. You have penalty neutralization, true damage 15% of your attack. You reduce damage from foes' attacks by 50% of units' attack, so nice flat damage reduction. And also grant special cooldown count -1 before units first attack during combat, so you have the preempt special jump. And then, of course, you have DC built in if you're transformed, and attack +2. So this is specifically for Armored Beast, right? Because it has that final part. So I don't think you can inherit this to a, you know, what is it called? A Beast Cav or Beast Infantry. I don't really remember what Arcane Nihility said, to be honest, because I don't really use beast units that much personally. But for Armored Beast users, this is going to be good. But again, there isn't that many Armored Beasts in the game. The only really Armored Beast that I can think of right now is, of course, Fallen Edelgard, who could use this for sure because their weapon's outdated. Or Kanangus, who is also a little bit outdated as well. I mean, he's aged better than her, but with his refined. But that's like the only two I can think of at the moment. There's probably a few others. But even if they are, they probably aren't very meta relevant. So So this is going to be good, a good upgrade for them. But yeah, still there isn't that many Armored Beasts. Sturdy Beast, of course, for the damage reduction. We've seen that before. Attack, defense, fortune, so giving you the easy transformation effect, and also buff nullification, stats, and 7 HP healing. So this is good because we had the attack speed fortune version, I think, before, so now I have the defense version. Assault Fighter. Okay, so we have Bold Fighter 4. That is nice to see. I didn't expect that. I was wondering when they would introduce something like this, because Bold Fighter has been never used, like, ever, except in the seal sometimes. I mean, Bold Fighter was used definitely when it first came out, back when the Armor Nation attacked. But, you know, it became slowly never used when other armor skills became better, or are just better, because there isn't that many, like, player phase armor units in the game. So Assault Fighter gives the attack defense -4 on the foe if you initiate combat or was within 3 spaces of an ally. You deal true damage, 20% of units defense. You reduce damage from foe's attack by 20% of your defense. And then you also make a guaranteed follow-up attack, and you also have DR piercing. So this is very good. It gives you everything you want for a... I mean, it's mixed phase now, but for any kind of armor that wants to initiate, you get the damage reduction, you get the damage output with the true damage, sorry. You get the DR piercing, guaranteed follow-up attack, so that's nice. And then he comes with his C slot for the True King. So this is the insane part. If foe with range equals 2 initiates combat against an ally within 2 spaces of unit, so, you know, Far Savior, you trigger Savior. but his savior is different. So his savior is different. If the foe initiates combat against a target ally within 4 spaces of Dedue, he triggers savior. So every single savior effect in the game has been within 2 spaces for good reason, but Dedue has no reason here. And he's going to do it within 4 spaces, which is insane. That is really good because his positioning doesn't matter as much to trigger his savior. If support partner is on player team, target ally is any support. Okay, so this is only for support partners. Target ally. So support partner is on player team. Target ally is any support partner. Otherwise, target ally is the ally with the highest attack on player team. Okay, so I guess this is support oriented, but still, four spaces is insane range. And then you can also have the ability to move to a space within 2 spaces of the target ally. If unit is transformed or foe initiates combat, grants +5. I can't read today, guys. +5 to every stat except for speed. You deal +7 true damage, reduce damage from foe stacks by 7. And you also have the special jump to yourself before units first attack during combat, which you already had in your weapon. And then you also have any reduced damage by X effect can be triggered only once, can now be triggered up to 2 times, just like female fallen Alear. So that is cool. So the 4, definitely the craziest part in this skill is the 4 space savior, but everything else, you know, puts it all together. So he's going to be pretty crazy. I mean, his weapon isn't the greatest weapon ever. It's definitely good for an arcane weapon, but if he had a PRF that was even more stacked, I think he would be even more intimidating. But they definitely gave him some stuff with this C slot for sure, and then Assault Fighter is also nice to make him have some presence in both phases. So protect support partners within 4 spaces. So yeah, it's support oriented. Here he is taking on Winter for Mortis. Still hilarious alt. I can't believe Winter for Mortis is chilling with his scarf, but he's gonna get punched by Dedue. And there he is protecting his king Dimitri from 4 spaces, which is crazy to see. But I guess it was only a matter of time till we got someone like that. So there's Dedue, of course, min-max, high attack, balanced defenses for the most part with low speed. So that is the Fallen Banner, and the GHB is Fafnir. And I don't think we see him yet here. But he is mentioned in the tweet at least. I don't know if I missed it or not. But yeah, he is the GHB, which is pretty crazy because Fafnir fans have been waiting for a long time. You know, Fafnir fans, I guess they are. I mean, I was gonna say they're small, but there's actually a lot of Fafnir fans. I mean, he hasn't been added to the game yet, really, except for his, what was it, his seasonal version a while ago. So people have been begging for his base, and now that he has it, it's a GHB. So it kind of sucks because people are like, man, you know, obviously he's gonna be weaker being a free unit, but you know, I'm pretty sure people are just happy that he's playable. So he'll be interesting to see if Fafnir is good or not. Hopefully he has a PRF or something. But yeah, that's the Fallen Banner, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below about it. I'm definitely not going to be summoning on it, even though it has Lena and Arcanea unit on it. I am saving because I've been using a lot of orbs for my dual Marth summons, which I'm going to upload hopefully this week. I have a lot to edit for it, but thank you guys for your patience on that. But yeah, that's the Fallen Banner. Again, let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed listening to me ramble as usual. Please stay safe out there. Peace out.